The Washington Post just wrote this tragic article gaslighting millions of women about their own experience with birth control. If you haven't read the article, go ahead and read it. And I follow this stuff because if you don't know, my name is Val and I actually own a period care brand. So everything women's health I'm extremely interested in, especially the fact that we have underinvested in women's health so much to the point that we barely know anything about PMS, menopause, periods, our brains on birth control. Like we are all just human guinea pigs in all of this. This is also another article that I saw this week that is really good that you should all read. Get your free Nat Geo trial. And it's about how we've basically underinvested and understudied women's bodies. So if we've done that, we know that that's true. We can see the data and the numbers. The fact that, if you are someone with endometriosis, the government's basically giving you like $10 a year for care. This is ridiculous. So for them to say that this is all just like conservative hoopla is ridiculous. I am not anti-birth control, but I just know that birth control is not the answer to every single problem that you go into the doctor with. Now, what they did mention inside of the Washington Post article was that a lot of times women are just at a loss because we go into the doctor for a certain thing and then all of a sudden we're prescribed birth control, but they do not fix any of our underlying problems. This is the main problem that we're having with the birth control thing. For example, I've now been going to the doctor for, 15 years, having horrible symptoms. And finally, they're like, oh, I think we should check you for endometriosis after putting me on every possible birth control, including an IUD, which tore through my uterus. I had a miscarriage because of it. Like, there's so many things that I've gone through. And I'm not even supposed to be taking estrogen birth control. I didn't know this, got a blood clot, almost lost my leg. There is a really cool company called Aiden. I'm quickly just going to share about it. I met the founder. This is not sponsored by them in any way, but they test your body to see what types of birth control you should and shouldn't take because we're basically prescribed like 5 main ones in the United States, but there's hundreds of different types of birth control, which is why also last year I did a video that went viral about a non-hormonal birth control, which was actually something that women use when they are going through breast cancer and you still ovulate, but it stops you from being able to carry a child. So your cervical wall doesn't build up. There's so many different types of birth control that people don't even know about. Birth control was really meant to have gaps in between pregnancies so that women can live normal lives without being pregnant every 12 months. Instead, it is now this panacea where we're just giving it to everyone for every single thing. And that is what we know is wrong with it. Women's health is oh my God, it determines everything that happens in our life, which means it determines everything that happens in the world. So much of our spending habits are based around our needs. And if we don't even know what our needs are because we're not being studied, like there is this $1 trillion opportunity that is being missed because the government will not fund more studies. So what can we do about this? First of all, there's something called the NIH. We're actually applying, my company, RifCare, for an NIH grant right now because we are trying to do some of our own studies. We know that there is money and funds that are now being put towards women's health, whether it's for period products, product development, how different things affect our hormones. And so if you are someone who is a founder, a scientist, and you're really interested in this, see if there's any way you can get grants, if you can work on something in your school, if you're a college student. I think that there's so much opportunity in this space, but it's going to take all of us rising up. So what I feel like this Washington Post article did when it gaslighted people to be like, those experiences are just from these people who are health coaches who are trying to sell people courses. Like, that's ridiculous. People are looking for alternative information, and these people are giving alternative information. Even the whole hormone cycle. If TikTokers did not start talking about this, I swear people wouldn't even know. And people still don't know. I'm still teaching women about their hormone cycle when I talk to them all the time. We all need to collectively keep speaking up. I do not believe that everybody should just be like, we're not going to have any form of birth control at all because we do need better options. My form of birth control right now is just not having sex with people that I do not want to have a kid by, so I'm just not doing it at all, right? Because I can't afford to do that in my life. But there are different types. Everybody's in different phases of their life. I feel like women are just generally having a sexual awakening, which is not the kind that women were having in the 70s, right? We are really having an awakening about our sexual wellness. And I love that for us. We need to keep it up and we need to fight back against information like this, which is, really getting people to choose sides politically when it's not about politics. It is about women's health.